Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I'm Elenia and I'm here once again with Abu. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm once again filling in for our friend who...
Our absent friend.
For the third week in a row, that's the third strike, man. So if he's watching...
Yeah, that's not such a subtle dig.
You're on a notice period, mate.
You're on disciplinary now. Okay, so... Before we go into the films, I had a little bit of news on the radio. Driving to work this morning, had hilarious news that Tom Cruise has been in Essex filming the new Mission Impossible 6 movie.
Can't wait for that.
I mean, you can't wait for that. I can wait for that. But apparently, he got in touch with the mayor and everything and said how beautiful that area of Essex was that they were filming. Hilarious, I know.
What part of Essex?
It was like Brentwood or something.
Okay.
And apparently he got turned away from a coffee shop because they were filming Towie.
Oh, I can see, why that would be.
I can see the prestige,
Who is Tom Cruise?
Exactly. Who is he? What has he even done?
Did you go into Costa and I want a frappuccino? They're like, oh, sorry, we're not working to it.
No, someone wrote in and said that they'd served him in the Costa, so it must have been some other shop where they were like, excuse me.
There are other coffee shops available, by the way.
Nah. We don't just shop at Costa. There are several
Tom Cruise
others.
apparently does. So he got turned down.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay. I mean, that's the last time he goes back to Essex. So
yeah,
well
exactly. All right, so let's go straight into our reviews. We've got three films to cover, and then we're just going to do a kind of roundup of
2 films and one just lousy piece of art students.
Let's call it a mixed bag. So we're going to start with Blade Runner 2049. Yes. So all aboard the reboot train, but sequel.
I think it's actually the one reboot this summer which actually has hit a good note.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the original a little while ago. I put a review up on our blog. Check it out.
Retro rewind.
Retro review. And I thought it was great. I mean, it's one of the few sequels that not only builds on the original, doesn't destroy it in the process.
Yeah, and eBay watch.
Yeah.
And Jumanji.
Jumanji. We see you coming. We see that. So let's
go into a little background of the film.
A little bit of background, yeah. So if we go right back to the original Blade Runner, it came out in 1982, and we've got Harrison Ford, who is called a Blade Runner, and these are a part of the police force who hunt down and retire replicants, which basically means kill the rogue ones.
The eyes.
Yeah, and replicants are bioengineered humans. And the Nexus 6 models that were in the original, they have a 4-year lifespan. And that was the main theme. They were upset, they only lived for 3 or 4 years.
They've been given humanity, but then they just go away.
And then, it goes out, and that's where that incredible line, the losing memories like tears in the rain and things like that.
The whole, what is the soul and all that.
And just wanting to live and love and all this kind of thing, because they are humans, but they're just engineered to be that bit better. So now we have Nexus 8 models who have an extended lifespan. You don't know how long.
This movie, right?
Which is this movie, yeah. And you had the Tyrell Company in the original, which went under and is now replaced with Neander Wallace, played by Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
He's a weird guy now.
Yeah,
he's just a weird guy.
So intense. Like, why is he so intense in every role?
Yeah, he makes up a few of the scenes that are very dialogue heavy. Like you have to really be listening to get what happens, which is exactly the same as the stuff that was in the first one. So we have now Ryan Gosling, who is a replicant.
That's made clear from the beginning.
Very, very clear. And he is a Blade Runner hunting down other replicants that have gone rogue. And
irony of him like killing his own species, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to bother him. But then it kind of starts to, as he's got quite a good character arc, I think.
Which is what this film delves into, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's his journey from becoming a soulless machine into something a bit more meaningful, essentially.
So he has to investigate, basically he finds a body and a child has been born from a replicant, which no one thought could happen. And then...
Basically, whose baby is it? Who's the kid?
Who's the kid? What happened to the kid? And people want to find the child for different reasons. We won't go too much into.
It's big news because if these replicants can now reproduce, that's like a whole new ball game now. We change everything, the dynamics of society.
Exactly.
So that's why it's such a big thing in the movie for them.
Yeah, it's almost like their messiah for the other replicants. The
first like free
the replicant freedom movement are the replicants.
Terrorists.
Saying that. Yeah, so they wanna be free. They don't want to be slaves anymore, obviously, because they're basically human. So before I go into my opinion, let's go over to you.
I suppose it's good because I've not seen the original. I've been trying to look for, like, just get some time to watch. Just haven't had a chance. It's not online anyways, so I thought, you know what, I'll watch it with a neutral perspective because I know you have.
Yeah.
So you can give the full, complete view. So I think what I'll start with is the film is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's like I mean, it was directed Denis Villeneuve. Denis. Yeah, but I mean, he's made Sicario and Arrival. Arrival especially was such a majestic film to look at. And I think here it's just simply gorgeous. Like all the scenery, all the camera angles, the colors, it's so vivid. That stands out straight from the beginning. Like, wow, just looking at it.
Yeah, the really big pans of the cities and the different landscapes are unbelievable.
But that's from like a superficial point of view. That's just like looking at the film. But luckily, it's not all just on face value, because I'm not fully up to speed with the whole lore. But the film does enough to kind of give you an idea of what's happening in the past. It drops hints. It kind of feeds it to you.
Yeah, there's a blurb as well at the beginning.
Yeah, it's not like in Ghost in a Shell where it's like explains literally to you what a ghost in the show means, like in your face, like just what's the word, condescendingly. Here they give you little information and you can kind of understand it as it goes along. So what I like about it, I love Ryan Reynolds. One of the Ryans.
one of those Ryans, is a good-looking actor.
I think Ryan Gosling was great in this role. I think he does well in these like moody, broody
role. Yeah,
like, he basically captured his drive self. Half of it is him just staring at the camera in the middle distance at something and being a bit more annoyed at something else.
Yeah, he plays a good contrast between the kind of dead behind the eyes replicant and then moving more into the human like side. He gains a human side by the end of it.
I think you definitely feel like there are some revelations that happen in the story that really affects him, and you really feel that, because like you could easily feel nothing for the guy because he's a robot, but he puts like emotional impact in his character. And there are bits when he finds out something isn't true, what he believed in, and he really destroys it. And you can sense,
you can see,
wow, that really affected the guy, from what he started off as a generic, just a killbot essentially, wasn't it?
He's a person. He is a person. He is a human.
Yeah.
It's not a robot, but he does have that kind of robotic, like completely compliant attitude at the beginning. Yeah. And then as he developed, he learns more about memories, and that's a really important thing.
The whole what is a soul and what does it mean to have a soul is a big part of this film. And I think if I go back from Ghost in a Shell, which came out early in the year, I think that's how Ghost in a Shell should have been done. Is how it was done here. Yeah. Because they have similar themes and ethos. It's about machines and do you deserve to have a soul? What is it like? So I think if Ghost in the Shell was done like this, it would have been so much more better. Yeah. Instead of what we did get, which was just totally bland. Yeah. So I was watching the film. If they did Ghost in the Shell just like this, it would have been amazing. But they just didn't. They didn't get the right director. They didn't get the right image in mind. So this is what Ghost in the Shell should have been, but this worked just as well, I think. Yeah. And it's got me interested to watch the previous one. I need to watch the original. Yeah,
you were saying you want to actually delve in.
Yeah, I can't make a full judgment on this, like by saying I didn't get bits of the storyline, because obviously I won't. Yeah. Because there are bits I need to fill in myself, and I think once I watch the original, maybe this will be even better. Yeah. Than what I think. So I'll throw it over to you, seeing as you.
So I think what you'd notice if you've seen the original and if you go back and watch it is it looks the same. Yeah. I mean, obviously
it's a different director, but it's a
different director. But you've still got Ridley Scott on as one of the producers, so he has some influence. But he said that he didn't want to do it, but he really, really wanted Denis to do it, and he directly asked it.
You can tell why,
and it looks very similar. Obviously, the technology and it looks crisper and sharper and all this kind of stuff. But it looks like, so it's Los Angeles in 2019 in the original and 2049 here. And in the new one, it is what I imagined the 2019 version to look like 30 years later.
Yeah.
And that was what really just blew my mind, because it was what you'd think 30 years later, that's what that city is going to look like. They keep the whole lights, all of the projections and stuff for the adverts.
The details is like
that. The detail is really great.
That's why it's tough being a new director to handle something you took a lot of time in doing.
Yeah.
So it's a big ask, you know, like you see that one of your treasured properties and you give it to someone else.
And I thought the score was fantastic.
Yeah,
the score in the original is very kind of saxy and synthy because it's characterized as a neo-noir sci-fi, which is a very strange combination, but it worked. And it's the same here. You've got a very heavily synthy to give it the futuristic feel, and it feels like an 80s imagination of a futuristic film still, even though it's been made now.
It's still got that continuity to it, rather than feeling it's two separate things made like 30 years apart.
It's taken the themes and the characters and the score and the visuals and built on it, developed it, and taken it to a whole new level as well, without completely butchering it, like most sequels and reboots do. And you have these long scenes with Ryan Gosling where he's looking out and he's contemplating things, but then you have intertwined with those scenes very dialogue heavy.
He's very dialogue heavy. I mean, that is
in a couple of scenes the dialogue is quite heavy, and if you're not paying attention it's quite difficult to follow, and that was how it was before as well. You have these conversations between people, and you have to listen because it goes quite deep.
Basically, you need to watch your subtitles to make sure you don't miss anything. Like any one sentence that you might miss.
Yeah, you're still exploring humanity and the will to survive, but now you're also exploring the idea of dying for a greater purpose as well, for a greater idea.
Rather than just being thrown on the scrap heap after you're done.
I mean, it's slow paced.
I was gonna say it's very slow.
It's very long.
It's 2 hours 40.
It's 2 hours 40. It's slow.
Some scenes like just right.
And it's like
walking.
He is just walking around in
I don't just see this for 5 minutes. Like you can show me him walking to a door, but literally, when he gets to Las Vegas to see Deckard, it's like it takes forever. Like, we know what's gonna happen. Like, he's gonna go see him. Don't just show me 10 minutes of him.
True.
Which is, I think,
but it's good because even though those scenes are really long,
it's building a story.
It's building a story, and it keeps you intrigued. It doesn't need these huge long action sequences and stuff.
You need to be aware that it is very slow paced. You need to know that going in, like, it is gonna boil up slowly. Don't be expecting it to be going fast.
I wouldn't say it was overly exciting, but I did find myself kind of tensed up and sat a little bit forward in my chair at the bits where it did get exciting and it did have fight scenes and things like that, and I was like, oh my god, are they going to die? Like you actually didn't know.
It's not really an action film anyway. It's more of a thriller, but
it's more of a sort of detective thriller.
Exactly.
More like the original.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. It's Leto is not a massively huge character, and he's kind of creepy and weird.
Oh, you mean the Joker?
The Joker.
Pretty much he's the Joker again.
Yeah. But I really liked Love. Love was ruthless. The replicant who worked.
I tried to find him. I thought I saw the previous film before, but just
I didn't write the name down. It's like Anna something.
Yeah, she was. Anna was the operating system.
Joy.
Yeah. So she was good. The bodyguard. She was a nice foil to.
Yeah, she was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, Kay needed a foil in it. Leto wasn't really a fighter. He was more of a pulling the strings. So you need someone who can actually confront him and be an equal to him.
Yeah.
And that worked pretty well for the entire film. And she's really ruthless.
She is just cutthroat. It's great. And I actually really enjoyed Joy. So Joy is like an operating system, kind of like Her. Did you ever watch that?
Scarlett Johansson,
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. And kind of like that, where she's around the house and
like a housekeeper,
like a housekeeper
slash girlfriend slash.
Yeah, like if just for lonely people, it's an artificial companion, but she's just a projection, and he develops this relationship with her, and he starts to realize, it's not real. But I thought that was really beautiful.
The way that whole art ends is amazing. I think it really
and it ends. It's really sad.
Yeah, the way it's done, because you wonder where is this art? You could have gone some weird ways.
You kind of think, oh, this is a bit
weird.
You don't need this. It's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, and kind of it's a bit out of sync in the film. But once the whole arc goes around, comes full circle, you're like, wow,
it
actually worked really well. Yeah,
really beautiful.
Yeah. So
and Kay, played by Gosling, I think he had a really good arc. He really played it well. He played the contrast between the character developments really well. And Ford is just as combative and stubborn as we know and love.
It's a bit strange because like
it's Harrison Ford
I'm not
being
here
Harrison
to hurt
Ford.
you, and they still fight. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he was kind of like that in the original as well. He was very quick.
It's just a bit just did bugs like he's clearly like, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not here to fight you.
Yeah.
He's still, you know what? I don't care. And it's a really prolonged fight scene for no reason.
I think that actually what a smart thing that they did was they dropped the narrative. So in the original, you had Harrison Ford narrating over the top, like a film noir. I think it was probably a good idea to drop that. I don't think it would have gone over as well if they did it now.
I haven't seen the first one, so I can't really say how.
Well, I mean,
so
it's
that
just
was how the first one was done. Is from his like kind of overview, like he was narrating.
Yeah, so he'd be walking around and he'd be saying like, I didn't know what to think after meeting Rachel and Tyrell, and all that kind of stuff. And
LA noir.
It was full on, but it worked then. But I don't know if it would have worked now with the film.
What's Archer's spin-off of The Spy? What's it called? The latest Archer series?
Oh, Dreamland.
Yeah, that's literally like that.
It's like
with
that.
The trench coat and the hat, looking at the blinds.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's
let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So what would be your short sort of 3 or 4
Mine is incomplete. I'm gonna be like gonna watch the original, then I can make a full judgment. I love this song, but I think I need to watch the first one to
do your research.
Yeah, I need to do my reconnaissance to fully enjoy this movie. But I think from a standalone, it's great but slow. I think it's very important to emphasize the pacing of the movie, and I think people need to be aware before they go in. It's not gonna
to be fair though, I didn't really realize that it was that long.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones where if you're engaged and you're intrigued and you're actually kept, if you keep involved in what's going on, you don't really know how long it is. I would say a beautiful sequel, finally. After 35 years.
Baywatch wasn't good.
I will end you right now. No, we're not gonna go into Baywatch.
Into crap remakes.
I thought it was funny, but I think it's great that this stands up both as a sequel and as a standalone movie. So I think that was good that we had that two different backgrounds going into it.
Yeah, because I think it's useful because not everyone's gonna be watching. The film's old and it's quite hard to find nowadays. Unless you're a really big fan of the genre, you're not really gonna stumble across it. Yeah. So I hope it does well in the box office.
I mean, it's one of those sci-fi movies that set up sci-fi.
It is like the story, like I can see Gosling. That probably because I looked at what came out first, Ghost in a Shell or this. This came in the early 80s. Ghost in a Shell was like early 90s. So I'm pretty sure this has some level of effect on Ghost in a Shell, which in turn.
And then you've got like iRobot and and the Matrix and all this other stuff.
So it is like
with human engineering and AI. And all this kind of delving into what is humanity and soul and things like that.
It's done in a way quickly before we even it doesn't really bait a sequel. You can really just stop here if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could just say, yeah, we're done. It doesn't have to or do a new universe of Blade Runner. Put up another 5 films.
You can see that they could.
They could
as well.
Yeah, obviously there's. But
I think that was what my dad said when it came out. He was like, obviously, so when's the next one coming out?
But some films that try and get like the Mummy, you got very over. We're going to set up another 5 films already. Yeah. But this one is like we'll go at our own pace. If you want to end it here, we could. If you want to make another film, the possibilities are there. I would say actually before we move on, I came out. I didn't know what to think when I first came out today. Why did I had to sit and go?
And I literally had to sit and contemplate it and go, actually, that was great.
Yeah, a film with this level of depth, you can't judge straight away. Like some movies, you can tell. Great,
you can walk out and be like, yeah, that was awesome, but I didn't really know how I felt until I'd sat there and thought about it and go, no, that was beautiful, that was majestic, that was deep.
So that is certainly now.
So the good part, and now we move on to Flatliners, which